Shalom. Excuse me, Slacky. Shalom, Yasharala. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakatham to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadal from the Great Millstone Dallas branch, and quick lesson, we're just going to get into, don't worry, but pray, right? Don't worry, but pray. And that's why, it's so important to make sure you are praying onto Yahweh Bashion Shai on a daily basis, man, as much as possible, man. Pray that you, make it to your destination safely. Pray that the Lord, continues you to, have mercy on you, that you're able to continue to serve Yahweh Bashion Shai. Just pray. Just continue to pray, man. Right? No matter what situation you put in, good and bad, pray unto Yahweh Bashion Shai what you need for understanding to, ultimately help to lead you in the right direction. I'm gonna go ahead and get the word pray in the Edamon online dictionary. And this is the word pray. It says, ask earnestly, beg someone, right? So you're supposed to, entreat. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. To ask earnestly, man. Beg someone, right? Because pray pretty much goes into begging. Begging what? Begging unto Yahweh Bashion Shai for what you need, right? Or to ask earnestly. But this is something you have to consistently do, right? It's not, I've said this in one of my previous lists. It's not like a one-time thing. You just ask the Lord for this one thing and that's it. No, you have to consistently pray, ask him over and over and over and over. The Lord ain't gonna be like, damn, man, what the fuck? He ain't gonna be like that. Yahweh Bashion Shai, he wants you to continue to ask him, to beg him for things that you need. Now, if it's a want, that's, it's you. But that shouldn't be the only things you're asking for wants. Oh, Baba Shai, give me this. Nah, not so much as that. More so spiritual gifts, right? Because anyone that's a servant of Yahweh Bashion Shai is going to be praying for spiritual gifts consistently to be better, be a better brother, be a better servant, to be more in the spirit, to get closer to him, things like that. Not so much, hey, Yahweh Bashion Shai, Baba Shai, man, yeah, let me get that car, man. Which is, you're not wicked if you do that. But most of your prayers shouldn't consist of you asking the Lord to give you materialistic things. Especially considering the times that we're in. You really don't want to be asking the Lord that a whole lot. Right? But I'm going to go ahead, hold on. Get this, because I just thought of another scripture. Alright, so this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17. It says, pray without ceasing, right? Which meaning, pray without stopping. And obviously, you're not going to be, 24/7 throughout the day, just praying. But throughout the whole day, you should be praying to Yahweh Bashion Shai, because nothing is promised, right? It's not promised that you could wake up tomorrow. It's not promised that you're gonna have you still gonna have every limb in your body. You could lose a limb, right? It's not, all that is not promised. Praying, and you ain't gotta, when you're praying, you don't always gotta be asking the Lord for something. You could be simply thanking him, showing your gratitude towards him for the things that he has done for you, and not only have done, but is also doing for you in the midst of your walk which is the biggest thing, is you still got the faith. That's one of the biggest things that the Lord doing for each and every one of you brothers that serve him. You still believe in him. You still got the faith. You still could call upon the names. Hey, we know what we worship. The Lord has gifted us with knowing him, which is something that majority of people don't have. You know? But I'm going to go ahead and get this Philippians chapter 4 and verse 6 in the NLT. It says, verse 6 in the NLT. It says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell Yahweh Shem Shai what you need and thank him for all he has done. Exactly. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Everything, man. You know, you can't go wrong with that, man. You praying to Yahweh Shem Shai about everything, because, man, that's your medicine, man. That's your connection between you and Yahweh Shem Shai, man. That's your connection, man. Right? You can't go wrong with praying to the Lord, man. You know, you need help with something, you pray, and, you know, you do the best you can. Right? Praying that he has mercy on you, man. You know, things of that nature. But yeah, things of that nature, man. Praying unto Yahweh Shem Shai about everything. Everything. Because that's what he wants anyways. A lot of the times, the whole reason why you're put into a situation anyway is because the Lord wants you to call upon him. Simply put, man. Right? The Lord wants you to call upon him. He wants you to beg him to, Baba Shah, save me. Baba Shah, can you help me with this situation? Baba Shah, can you do this and that? And then after that, once you pray, it's a waiting game pretty much after that, man. So you got to be patient, because the Lord, he ain't going to do it. Excuse me. Slacky, excuse me. So the Lord, he ain't going to do it, you know, within 2 seconds of you praying. I mean, do we wish he did? Yeah, of course. It wouldn't, but it's just not how it works. Right? The Lord, he's going to do it when the time comes, really. When he sees fit, yeah, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Sometimes you do pray about something and it happens right then and there. You know? But it's not going to be everything. Majority of it is not going to be like that. You know, I never heard a brother tell me, bro, every time I pray, bro, it's like right there. Every time. Nah. I've heard it happen sometimes, but not every time. Majority of the time, it's like, oh, it's down the line. Majority of the time. Which is fine. Because guess what? The Lord still answered your prayers. You know, and I remember Elder Arianazi from our camp here, you know, in Dallas. He made a lesson going into, you are living in the midst of a prayer every day, pretty much, because there's things that you prayed for, you know, maybe months ago that might not get answered until today, type deal. Right, and then a lot of times, you know, you may not realize it, man. You know, you can forget because you asking the Lord for so many things. You don't even know that you're living in the midst of a prayer like you've asked before. You know, but that's the importance of always praying, because if you're always praying, then you're always living in the midst of a prayer that you asked. Or it's constantly working on you, you know, getting you right. You know, and, you know, of course, Yahweh Shem Shai ain't gonna give us everything. You know, some things he really withholds from you because, you know, you really don't need it right now, or for whatever purpose he sees fit. Because, I mean, it's Yahweh Shem Shai we're talking about. You know. I'm going to get this Luke chapter 11, and I'm starting at verse 9. I'm starting at verse 9. It says, and I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth. And he that seeketh, findeth. To him that knocketh, it shall be open. If a son shall ask bread of any of you that is a father, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he for a fish give him a serpent? Or if he shall ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your heavenly Father give the Holy Spirit to them that ask him? Exactly, man. Yeah, how about you got to ask. And with you asking, that's you praying unto him, begging him, asking earnestly, man. Like you being serious. Right? Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see what that word earnestly. Let me see what it says for earnestly. Quick Google definition. With sincere and intense conviction. Seriously. So you're serious about it. You ain't just sitting there like just kind of like chilling, No, you're serious about it, And just because you're serious about it doesn't mean the Lord's gonna, answer right away still. Right? I mean, I would hope you're being serious when you're praying. You shouldn't be joking when it comes to praying to the Lord anyway. But, you asking earnestly and begging him. Right? So you're asking seriously and you're begging him to do it. So you're consistently putting it in the Lord's ears of what you want, of the requests you're making onto him. Right? And this was a perfect, perfect example right here we got in Luke 11. How if we know how to give gifts, to, being evil, being in his flesh, being in his lower state. If we know how to give gifts to our children and sons, how much more the Lord, man? Right? You've been praying to the Lord to increase you in your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding. You don't think the Lord's going to do that eventually? Now, the way he does it, it's not going to be pleasant because there's no growth that comes from being comfortable. So if you're asking for, the Lord to increase you, best believe you're asking to be pretty much uncomfortable, man. Just know that. Don't think you're going to be all happy, go lucky charm when you're going through all of this. Nah, you're going to be going through it. You're going to be, you're going to be low. Yeah, you're going to be hurting straight up. But guess what? You're going to be growing. Hell, it was Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter goes into, how the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, and by the sorrow of the countenance of the heart is made better. So you're being made better through the pain that the Lord put you through, right? Through the sufferings that Yahweh shall put you through to ultimately get you right. Ultimately, So yeah, man, continue, just pray, man. Pray to Yahweh Shah. Don't worry, but pray. You can't never go wrong with praying. But you got to do it you got to be you can't be wavering. That's what it is. You can't be wavering. Was that James 1? Let me see if I get that real quick. Is it 1:6? Yep. Well, start verse 5. James chapter 1 verse 5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh Shai, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Right? For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Exactly. So if you're wavering, aka doubting that the Lord is going to do it, then don't expect him to do it. He's just not going to do it, bro. Because if you're doubting, you're down the Lord's power. They're like, oh man, he can do it, man. I don't know, shit. I asked, I've been begging, but I don't know if he's gonna do it. Then he's probably not gonna do it, to be honest with you. Right? Was that Hebrews 11:6? For it is impossible to please Yahweh Shem Shah without having faith, believing that He is, and He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. So, yeah. That being said, man, Lord, He'll reward you for diligently seeking Him. Continue to pray it onto Him, of whatever request is being made known. And sometimes, Lord, He'll let you know, like, nah, man, it's just not gonna happen. And He doesn't have to give you a reason. But you have to best believe that, He has your, what's the word? Best interest, pretty much. He cares about you, and that's why He's not giving to you, even though you are praying about it, even though you are asking about it. Lord be like, nah, if I give it to Him, man, it's really gonna stunt His growth. Nah, if I give it to Him, man, it's really probably gonna knock Him out the truth. He's not gonna be cultivated the way I want Him to be cultivated. These are things you got to think of, when the Lord doesn't give you things. And sometimes the Lord, He just won't give you certain things, more like won't give it to you right now. It's just being withheld at the moment because He's doing something, with you right now. You're like, nah, I need you to be locked in right there at the moment. But once you get to this point, I got you. But you don't know all that. It's just, you have to wait and see. But you still have to believe that, man, hey, the Lord, He's listening to me. I know He heard me. But now I just gotta wait and see what's up. Pretty much. Continue to pray about everything, man. Because, you can't go, scriptures go to pretty much you can't go far enough. Hell, the Lord got angels that pray to Him like 24/7. So if they doing that 24/7, I know we're not doing that like every part of the day. Hell, with us praying to the Lord, man, it's like shit, it's like we barely even doing it really compared to them 24/7. Holy is your name, holy, holy, holy. We ain't doing that at least all day. So you can't never go far enough when it comes to praying to Yahweh Shem Shah. He's not going to get annoyed because you called Him and you praying to Him about the same thing over and over. He's not going to get annoyed, bro. He loves it. He loves it because that's what He wants. And if you're not praying, then you're just weakening that connection that you have with Him. You ain't keeping your medicine strong, as Apostle Ricard like to say, man. Keep your medicine strong. You keep that medicine strong, that connection is through prayer. And if you're not praying, then guess what? You're gonna weak medicine, weak connection, right? The 2/3 they got no connection, no medicine, no mirror. No, I'm just playing. But you get what I'm saying, But anyways, Lord willing, I was edified. I want to end it out by saying, Kal Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rechakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time I say, Shalom, Yisrael.